Snaya is not coming. What? Genshin Impact got screwed up. Did he sell? All this affects not only the proto-gamers that we will receive during the latest versions. NATLAN, it won't just affect what comes after NATLAN because it said he's not coming. Sneeze Naya, but it affects the exit of the sound throughout the community and expected. Genshin Impact 2. So today we're going to talk about something very important, and you asked me very much to talk, and I had to upload, of course, Mavuika content and more important things, and surely this video is here in the middle of Mavuika coming out and after the Pruwils and everything important after the live stream, but it's important too, and you insisted on it. So much for saying that Sneeze Naya doesn't come after NATLAN. Zulu, leave a good like, a good ulti of minute, subscribe, leave a good comment for the guild. Thank you for enjoying watching the channel video. Thank you so much for all the love and support. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing. Recommend position to the channel, we grow. I have nothing more to say because 1,000 thanks for everything that's going on, and you yourselves can see everything that's going on with both direct channels and other networks as here on YouTube. I just have to say thank you. Thank you 1,000. Thank you so much. And remember that until come out Mavuika, there are 2 blessings a day to win. So to participate alone, you have to give it like, subscribe with bell and comment for the algorithm that takes advantages. If you are eating and are very rich, welcome and invited to the live ones. Also live. That's where I'm gonna be delivering the Mavuika to each of you during the first one. January week, when you start adding and announcing the winners, so watch out. To the directs, link down here in the description, and come to enjoy that you have a great time. And we're going with all this information about Genshin Impact 2's delay, which... maybe there's no Sneeze Naya coming. What's coming after NATLAN? Even what's being talked about. That will come in NATLAN new elements. What will happen to the 6 and others that... It supposedly comes after NATLAN, but not with Sneeze Naya and everything that is being speculated. Well, alright, there's no Sneeze Naya coming, which is what I started saying in the video, what he says. Quite a few leaks and sources are beginning to be shared by a little more reliable sources. It's basically that after NATLAN, we all expected Sneeze Naya to come and... then 6, whatever the equivalent of 7 was after Sneeze Naya. 1, it could be some kind of final arc of Celestia and some arc and... a full year full of very strong updates with battles, wars, and so on. Related to that, the Tsaritsa already obtained all the Gnosis as if it were the gems of infinity of Thanos, so we can face Celestia and know the final plot of Genshin and how Celestia... let's say he enslaved and subjugated all of Tivat, put the Archons there as if it were his. And how he did and developed the catastrophe in Kahanria and cursed all his citizens, making them part of the Order of the Abyss and knowing the origin of that Order of the Abyss. And so after that Genshin Impact 2, that you all know and you speak enough in the community, which basically will be, many ask us creators, Phil who thinks of Genshin Impact 2, for basically it will be a rebrand, i.e. rebrand means a change of name, but so in English, like Honkai Impact 3-2, that is to say it will be a next update. But instead of being back then, the 7th point, I don't know what, after already the end of the story that we would supposedly know and supposedly match that famous video in which it's called Genshin Impact, Act 1, Prologue. The nations of Teyvat and teach us a video where the nations and a character from each of the nations where after NATLAN comes Sneeze Naya and so Genshin Impact 2 in this case would be fair. Then with new arch, with new development, with new areas, with more part of the history than Naya, it's probably a lot more epic, isn't it? Like let's say the end of the whole Avengers saga. And from Avengers started the whole saga of the Infinite Gauntlet, didn't he? At the expense of the first film of the Avengers coming out in Genshin Impact as the leaks. Say, this is the context, that basically after NATLAN will not come Sneeze Naya. NATLAN, supposedly the 6 points whatever it is going to be, let's say, as your beloved series, Naruto, One Piece, or their quintessential anime that charms you will come, all in chat, all in the comments below, filled in. Yes, gentlemen, Genshin Impact will use the old filler modea. It is already used in many regions and versions where occasionally there's something out there that's a full fill update that doesn't come map or come map. But nothing more and very poor. And we all know when a version in Genshin is filled, and when not, and nearly 40% for some almost half of each year, and each Genshin Impact region. They know they've got people hooked up with the daily loot. Resin. I grow artifacts, banners with new characters, and for many people that's enough for the... Well, it's said that this 6 is going to be full of stuffing, but don't update all of the stuffing because I understand that people would leave Genshin Impact definitely, and many people, when there was a lot of stuffing, as for example, you remember the end of Zumaru when Honkai Star Rail came out, that there were 3 or 4 ultra mega empty versions and people left Genshin Impact on NASA and went to try the Star Rail and some other similar areas. For example, maybe the end also of Fontaine just before Natlan with Simulanka that also. The game was very empty and also a little zizzy exit coincided. Well, here comes the story says number 1 that capable this is because Genshin, well, Hoyoverse in this case. There were rumors of that Animal Crossing game from Farmed. I don't know if it... Remember, or some other Hoyoverse project that suddenly appears with a game new because what they generate with Genshin instead of reinvesting it to make a better game because they take out another new game, and it's also said and the leaks talk about these 6 points, whatever they're going to be all areas which have not yet been able to be removed from Mondstadt, Liyue, Natlan, Meribari, i.e. will deepen in what is still within the nations that we have already visited. To say finish closing all the circles of the stories with the Sarkans and dead, all that is the nation of Tivat, so that at last the last act of all Tivat is Shnesnaya. Or is Shnesnaya more the war with Celestia or something, and be like the storm before calm? Before closing all that would be the chapter of Genshin Impact, Act 1 in the nation's Tivat, and from there 2 years from now, Genshin Impact 2 started, but the leaks say they're going to be versions with new zones with new map, the areas of the port of Dormand of Mondstadt, and something more Castle Black and others that we have already waited for Baka that we have already expected a lot, and we don't know any news about him Merhibari in Natlan, who is talking a lot about. I know that many of you know what we're talking about. Talking, and above all capable. Not only does a game come out at that time so that people also reconduce a new game, but here comes my speculation, not only the leaks but capable know that with Dendro and Sumeru developed a new element, and that for Genshin was a gigantic peak, and to this you better want to take that nation, that extra version, that extra year before the final act is Shnesnaya to develop new combat systems or especially new elements, because little by little we have been left with new elements, and we have also commented on it little by little in the videos that the quantum, or what is equivalent to the energy of the abyss, or what Skiakarkas, the teacher of Tartagia, who shows us in this epic cinematic, is totally a winkle to the quantum of the Honkai Star Rail, that there is also a luminous element that many of us have talked about. That is the UFO, that is the one of the cards, and so on, and it is spoken in lore that Celestia has an energy, a power that can then be divided or fragmented into the 7 elements of Genshin Impact by doing allusion to the metaphor of light that can be broken down into the rest of colors, basically. And we have the plot, as I say, of the Order of the Abyss and the search for your sister. That besides all, let us remember that in Tivat we are on the subject of agnosticism, and with Saritsa and Shnesnaya already, because we're already in the middle of Natlan. But does anyone remember that Genshin's main mission Impact is looking for the sister? I mean, all this is because you are the ether who is the canon, though. You can be Lumen and vice versa, and you've come to Tivat to look for your sister and nobody remembers it. So we will also have to catch up with the Order of the Abyss, and with Dineslave, and with Dineslave. All this plot of the 500 years that happened that no one knows what happened, or what Lumen saw to change of opinion as to what we knew in principle, so this is what they say will come. A 6 after Natlan without main plot and without Shnesnaya, and also to finish no trace in level 100 nor trace of level 100, although it is said that way. And Own Joyover said in the live stream, I hope it's a good little bit more. These are the latest news and be very careful because it can be and seems quite plausible to me. There are times that show there are things spoilers comments or leaks out there like level 100 that can be smoked and Joyova swear whenever you can stuffing stuff to delay things and people. Maybe you eat all the versions with potatoes this time quite coincides with the way you do the May. Joyova stuff, so I wouldn't doubt that this would really be fulfilled even though by all the players so. We prefer that you arrive in Shnesnaya a little more to leave a good like a hug, to the Tibetan to subscribe, leave a good comment for the video. Thanks for enjoying watching the channel, thanks for all the support, take care to have very good day. F Proto Gemas and Chaito, that you are very well.